It's the Thursday drivers' press conference from Malaysia, and joining us in part one today are Sebastian Vettel and Kimi Räikkönen from Ferrari and Max Verstappen from Red Bull. Start with a question to all of you. Clearly a painful moment in Singapore, 3 cars eliminated on the first lap of the Grand Prix. How do all three of you assess it now, and how do you move forward? Sebastian.
I think it's part of racing. It's also not the first time, I'm in a situation like this. Probably will not be the last time, and therefore not much point to try and look at them again and again. Your time and your energy is more well spent looking forward.
Yeah, I mean, it happened, you can't change it anymore. I think it was just a very unfortunate moment. But yeah, what can you do about it? We just come here again and we'll try again.
And Kimi, your thoughts?
No, not really anything. We obviously moved on since Sunday, and it's a new weekend and a try.
Since the summer break, you've gone from a 14-point championship lead to a 28-point deficit to Hamilton. Do you still think it's possible to get back on terms?
Well, I don't know. I don't think we do. I think still a lot of races left. I think we have a strong car, so we'll see. I have a lot of races left, but yeah, I'm not too fast about the amount of points. Obviously, it's never good to be behind. We'd like to be in front, but we're not, so we've got to take it from there.
Sebastian, at the beginning of this race, will you try to protect your lead? Will you maybe be slightly less rash? What would be going through your mind on lap one?
Every start is different, and the way Singapore happened, you can look at it again and again. It doesn't matter. First of all, it's done, and second, I think it was pretty unfortunate for all three of us. So I think we all, have to move on. I'm pretty sure. I can't promise you now. I'll say to you now what will be in my mind on Sunday when I leave the grid. But normally I never thought about the last race, so I'm pretty sure I'll be focused about see what I can do on that very start on Sunday.
Question for Max. It was obviously not your first frustration this season. Do you still have expectations for this race?
It is not my year in terms of Sunday finishes, but in general, you have to try to stay positive and look at the positives. And I think the speed is there, so we just try again here in Malaysia and see how competitive we are. It's a bit difficult to say, but last year I think was pretty alright. And we'll just try again.
Is there time in a busy race weekend to spend some attention on a birthday, to do something for a birthday or not?
Well, the problem is, it's so humid here and warm, so you make a cake, but who wants to eat cake on such a warm day? So yeah, I'm actually not.
Do.
You do? Yeah. I'll bring it to the garage. I'll bring it up before the practice.
10 to 3, if you can bring it. 10 to 3, 5 to 3.
It's fine. Do I need to serve you as well in the car?
Yeah, 10 to 3, yeah. 5 to 3.
I'll wait a bit in Q1 and then I'll go out.
Actually, the quality is at 5. Sorry, 10 to 6. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's plan then.
Okay, we move on with part two of our press conference, and joining us now we have Pierre Gasly and Carlos Sainz of Toro Rosso and Marcus Ericsson of Sauber. Pierre, we'll start with you. The moment has finally come. You make your Formula One debut. How does it feel?
Yeah, it feels amazing, honestly. Starting my first Formula One race this weekend is just a dream coming true for me. I worked really hard these past few years to make it happen, and it's true I had to be patient, but it's worth it. I'm just so excited. Of course, I'm here to learn as quickly as possible and to perform with the team. But at the moment, I think I need to take each session at a time, learn as quickly as possible next to Carlos, and then we will see where we are. Of course, I want to do well, but then also need to be objective. Coming with six races to go. For me, there will be many things to learn, and I'm just going to try to do my best.
Marcus, coming to you, you've obviously got very strong connections at Sauber, but how does that square with all the initiatives going on around the junior Ferrari drivers? Where does it all leave you?
Nothing is done at the moment for me, so I need to keep pushing and do good the last couple of races now to show that I deserve to be in F1 next year. So it's important for me now, even though we are struggling a bit as a team to keep up with other guys. It's still very important races for me, so big push needed.
Carlos, obviously a career best finish in Singapore on the weekend that your new deal with Renault was confirmed. What part did that good news play in the race outcome, do you think?
Yeah, it was a great weekend all around. No, first with the news on Friday, then with Q3 on Saturday, fourth place on Sunday. Probably one of my best weekends in Formula One for sure. Didn't really affect me, to be honest. I did everything that I've done this year. It just happened to be my best result in Formula One, which is, on the other hand, quite nice to do it on that exact same weekend. No, but yeah, very proud of it. We did celebrate a bit on Sunday, but at the same time, from Monday onwards, I was watching videos of previous years in Malaysia.
You're effectively on loan next year to Renault, so you don't belong to Renault. You actually still belong to Red Bull. Where will your loyalties lie? Will you be driving 100% for Renault, or will you have your eye more on the following season with Red Bull, for example?
No, not at all. I think I will be, obviously in my head, a Renault driver, and I will give everything I can to that team, to that manufacturer, and the future we will see. But it's not something I will think about during my 2018 season, because my full focus needs to be in 2018 with Renault, no? Although at the moment my focus is Malaysia Toro Rosso.
So what are your thoughts on this final Malaysian Grand Prix this weekend?
For sure, this weekend I will remember for the rest of my life. When you have such a dream coming true, to do it on the last Malaysian GP, I don't know if we're gonna come back one day, probably on this track. But yeah, for sure, it's a moment that I will remember for the rest of my life. Yeah.
It's a bit sad seeing Malaysia go. I think it's a track that's have a good mix of everything, and also there's been some really good races here in the past, I think, in Formula One.
I rate the Malaysian Grand Prix very highly. It's probably one of the best track layouts we get to race in the whole year, with the fast corners, high grip tarmac like last year. On top of that, it's the most physically demanding track, or one of the most physically demanding, which makes it also quite special and quite a challenge for us. So to miss it, yes, we will definitely miss it, and never say never. It can always come back, hopefully.